Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan has Jason Voorhees on a boat. Then he's in Manhattan for the last 20 minutes of the movie. So, this is one of the most misnamed movies of all time, because it's not Jason in Manhattan, it's Jason on a boat. So, surprisingly, there's a couple things that are positive. The Darkest Side of the Night song in the opening credits is a pretty cool song. It starts off the movie pretty well, showing off New York. That's kind of cool. And Julius punching Jason for a straight minute when they're in Manhattan is really good. It's a pretty good scene. Kane Hodder said, who played Jason, said to punch him as hard as he could for real, so that's cool. That's actually a really cool scene. Now on to the negatives. This movie is painfully boring. It's so unengaging. And the characters are super unmemorable. None of them get enough screen time to actually stand out. They get like one, maybe two scenes, and then they die. So, just unmemorable characters. And what is up with the Jason Voorhees kid thing? He looks nothing like he does from part 1. And it's just really weird. He actually has hair. He doesn't look that deformed, unlike in part 1. The kills are terrible. There's way too many kills, and they're not creative or bloody, so it's so that side of a horror movie is just really bad. The movie is I already said this kind of, but the movie is yet again kind of false advertising. This is not Jason Takes Manhattan. It's Jason Takes a Boat. Then for the last 20 minutes, he's in Manhattan. So it's mostly confined to the boat, and it's so boring. So it's kind of like part 7, where it's like we had the promised premise of Carrie versus Jason, but that only happens in the last 20 minutes, and you don't get that much of it. It's the same thing in here. So the promised premise for the movie, you barely get any of it, and it's in the last 20 minutes of the film. And this movie is just way too long, also. I think the full runtime is like an hour and 40 minutes. So until you get to the end credits, it's like an hour 35 minutes. So, and this just goes to show that I do think Friday the 13th, most of the movies could actually work, or at least be entertaining enough if they were like an hour and 20 minutes. Like, cut out 10 minutes of just about every single Friday the 13th movie. The only movies that I think actually can handle an hour and a half runtime is Part 4, because that was entertaining. Part 6, again, that was also entertaining. There's a bit more happening in Part 6. Maybe Jason X, I think, because, again, there's a bit more happening in Jason X than compared to, like, the original. And then, the reboot, I think, also warrants that runtime, where I think that is over an hour and a half. So, and that one actually is pretty entertaining, too. But, like the first and second movie, you can cut out 10, maybe 15 minutes, and it would be a much better movie, a much more entertaining movie, a much faster-paced movie. And that can be said for parts 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, maybe even part 9, I would say. And even Freddy vs. Jason, I think you can cut out 10 minutes of that. Get rid of all the character plot stuff and just focus on Freddy and Jason. But anyways, back to this movie, Jason Takes Manhattan, more or less. This is just way too long, and it's just really boring. So in the end, this is really bad. This is not a good movie, not a good horror movie at all. I would say Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 3 and Thanksgiving 3 would be worse than this. Even Freddy's Dead, and I hesitate to say Seed of Chucky, but I mean, like, I think Friday the 13th Part 8 is worse than Seed of Chucky, kind of. But, like, certainly Freddy's Dead is worse than this, but, like, it's not by much. So, this movie is just absolutely terrible. Like, I cannot stand to watch this movie, and I will probably never watch this movie again, even though I've seen it a few times, but it's just really boring. So that's my review on Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes a Boat, and then Manhattan. So there you go. Thanks for watching.